Increased time in the temple will help us prepare for the second coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ. We do not know the day or the hour of his coming.
His atonement bringeth to pass the resurrection of the dead, and it atones for the sins of the world, erasing all of our repented sins and giving our Savior power to succor us in our mortal infirmities. Beyond that glorious erasing of sins committed and being forgiven,
Travis Wayne, good soul. Idaho Chick has finally exposed the truth about my channel. My videos are sing-along videos. People are strange when you're a stranger. So, there's an angry teddy bear who's upset with me, and he even had to edit his comment. Uller T. I'm sure that's a legitimate name. He says, whelp, as a lion's whelp. This didn't age well. When you destroy your credibility in the first 30 minutes of your video. Usually in the first 30 minutes of my video, I put in a whole bunch of introduction pictures, video clips. This, however, was Jesus' birthday video, wasn't it? Yep. Celebrating Second Coming Mormon Jesus Christ Birthday Sunday Lessons. So there's 7 seconds for the title page that blows up on your screen. There's 15 to 20 seconds of the picture. And then if I add other stuff. Conference weekend, I avoided the extra stuff to save time to get them up on the screen during sessions. And so it's the thumbnail picture is what he's complaining about in the first 30 seconds that lost my credibility with the well-known famous painting of Jesus that all Mormons know. It was in the terrestrial world right before the veil in the Salt Lake Temple there on the wall. Over on the men's side, everybody who's been in that temple and gone through sessions in that temple know exactly what I'm talking about. We all know the picture. And it's been used by the church numerous times throughout the years. And so I had happy birthday, Mormon Jesus Christ. And I lost my credibility with that. Angry teddy bear. Do you not see how the beam and mote applies here? He thinks I've lost my credibility over Jesus saying happy birthday, which all Mormons know is April 6th. And Mr. Angry Teddy Bear is saying, I've lost my credibility. Angry Teddy Bear. See, I don't fear abusers. They don't have any legitimacy. Not to mention disobeying Nelson at conference. Nelson again said, stop this kind of behavior on social media. And he's not listening. He doesn't obey his living prophet of Jesus. Mormons don't obey. It's a tribalism in Mormonism. They are born, raised Mormon, and they stay Mormon. They casually go to church. They occasionally, like once a month, maybe once every other month, or only just for weddings, or when the ward does it and they're getting assigned to do something. It's never on their own initiative. They are Mormon in name only. They may have a calling. Nelson's pretty much doing away with callings other than leadership. It's up to the bishops to make sure that people are actively participating in the ward now. But Nelson, by shutting things down, taking away an hour from church, is taking away callings for members. This is what I've been warning you about. And this is what this angry teddy bear who has credibility does not get. He does not want to know the truth. He does not want to embrace the truth. He's not studying his scriptures. He has no clue about what they say. Because if he did, he definitely doesn't understand them. What he did was wrong. It's a sin. Everybody sing along. Everything I do, everything I say, every place I want to go, it's a sin. This isn't karaoke, it's sing-along. And so, those who've been with me for years, who have been following, maybe not catching all my videos, but generally following along, know that I have been warning about the fall of the United States of America, the fall of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I'm trying to help you understand the scriptures, trying to help you understand and prepare for the fall. Trying to help you prepare your hearts so that you can sing along on an exodus to Zion. So that we can be in Zion, so that you can be pure of heart, purging yourself of all the false doctrines that the church has taught you and indoctrinated you with to turn you into an angry teddy bear with no credibility. I don't know fully why, other than this is an emotional response. He came to the video knowing about April 6th, knowing about this as the church, Jesus' birthday and all, and was disappointed. When he heard me speak, that I'm not faith promoting after all. He was offended. He wanted me to be faith promoting. He wanted the video to be faith promoting, to support his tribalistic views about the church. And lo and behold, oh no, I have a different view, and therefore it's wrong. This is his one and only video, and he even spent the time to edit it. And yet, he's a hater. The church has raised him up to hate, to not be a good person. This is what I've been doing my videos for, to warn you that this is what the church is doing to you, to warn you to stop it, to purify your hearts, purge yourself of this church's indoctrination that is consequentially leading to your hatred of mankind, to your tribalistic behaviors. And so he has no clue that we're not even supposed to be Christian. The Bible is Jewish, even that New Testament. Did the Matthew video yesterday. Book of Mormon is Jewish, Joseph Smith is Jewish. So what the hell are people saying he's Christian? That the Book of Mormon is Christian, that the Bible is Christian. What the hell? This is the worst form of hate. To deny a whole culture and religion. Is this too complicated to understand that what Constantine did in 325 CE was pure evil? That Christianity is pure evil, and therefore Brigham Young is pure evil. Is that too hard to figure out? You can't tell the Jews, especially the Jewish authors, that they are wrong and that you know better about what they wrote. And you don't see that as being racially bigoted. And so, beam and mode again. These are not the attributes of Christ. He never even read his New Testament. Jesus didn't go storming into the rooms of the Pharisees going, "Sinners!" He didn't interrupt them when they were talking. "Sinner!" They came to him, and then he responded and confounded them. This is my channel. You chose to come to my channel because YouTube showed you one of my videos after all these years. You chose to click on it. You chose to interpret me before hearing me. You chose to hate. This is Mormonism. This is what the leaders of the church groom all Mormons to be. And so that should help Carlito's gut. Because it seems like they're an outsider of Mormon culture and practice, and are disturbed by what they're experiencing concerning Nelson's Facebook page. He has no clue who the Christ is supposed to be. Remember, it's supposed to be Jewish, not Christian. Joseph Smith is our Christ. Christians are instantly offended. No man is Christ but Jesus. Ex-foes will say, well, Joseph is a false Christ. He made predictions that the Danites told us about, and they didn't happen. No duh. Because the Danites are the enemy that are raising Mormons to be this way. But that's the whole thing that Carlito's gut does not have in their knowledge banks, the Danites. So I'm hoping I can do that today. We'll see. The Mormon employee has been working the last couple of nights and has been cyber terrorizing me, most definitely last night. And it's pathetic, because those who have been following me for years, who have seen that I have made prophecies, that I have interpreted scriptures, and given you days and hours, and made translations of Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian, and have demonstrated the keys of the man like Moses, and have gone over with you my dreams. They know I have the attributes of Christ. They know. A quality or feature regarded as a characteristic or inherent part of someone or something. Section 107, verses 91 and 92. And again, the duty of the president of the office of the high priesthood is to preside over the whole church, and to be like unto Moses. Notice it's not Peter, James, and John. Behold, here is wisdom. Yea, to be a seer, a revelator, a translator, and a prophet, having all the gifts of God, which he bestows upon the head of the church. Notice it's not the quorum of the 12. Notice translator. How can Mormons just ignore this and hope it goes away? Because Mormons are raised up to be tribal. Angry teddy bears. This is a Trump Ice video before I go running this morning. Asia and Europe stocks are back to being bad. They wanna be bad. Just like America, which was interesting, because it was following the pattern of Asia and Europe yesterday of recovering for just the one day. And if you don't understand how stocks work, people tend to go into the stocks buying low and selling high. So with the massive sell-offs, the stock prices were very low. So yes, it's not a surprise that yesterday, in the overnight hours of yesterday, not this morning, Asian stocks and Europe stocks were in the green rather than the red. Because there were people who were saying, oh, it's low, let's buy these stocks, knowing full well that there's more tariffs of Trump coming. And it is disturbing that Trump is able to control and destroy the whole world economy and stock markets. It is extremely disturbing that Trump is exploiting this vulnerability. It is not a coincidence that Trump is destroying the economies and thus destroying governments, because that's all part of the prophecies of the latter days. And Sister Jessica leaked Oaks. And so sure enough, overnight, Asia and Europe are falling again. And yeah, the American stock market started off well. I saw it go over 1,000. And when I checked after 2, here in Utah time, it was almost 400 below. Complete flipping. Hilarious. And knowing that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the major stockholder around the whole world, I see exactly what they did. They let these suckers and losers who think, oh, let's buy low and then we'll sell high. And instead, the church came in and sold the stocks. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, humiliating. Get all these people who think they're going to figure it out and get rich quick. The church owns the stock markets, guys. As the major stockholder, they own the stocks. How hard is this? The whistleblower leaked. Do you not understand the concept of people who whistleblow, who leak? You kind of need to pay attention to them. Can't just ignore them and hope they go away. So, yes, Trump's 104% tariffs are now applied to China. That's why China's stocks went back down again, because the church said, yay, shorting the stock. Thank you, Trump. And also Canada. There's added reciprocal tariffs on Canada for automobiles. And so we should expect, with America today, Canada, to also tank in the stock market again today. It's expected. Tariffs are now in place. Boom, stock market always falls. It's a pattern. I don't understand why people on these press channels aren't getting this. We've seen the pattern. This is obvious. It is a criminal operation of insider trading with shorting the stock. Simple. It's a crime, but Trump is in charge. So nobody's going to get in trouble for it. He's causing it. And see, this is what the corporations do not understand. They're the little men on the totem pole, even though they're billionaires. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are stealing from the billionaires and their companies. The billionaires are upset with Trump, not the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They don't know what's going on in the big picture. The church has made Trump the fall guy, the patsy, the one to blame, because Joseph Fielding Smith Sr. got leaked by yours truly. No one is supposed to know about what's going on right now. Shh, it's a secret. Secret. I've got a secret and I cannot tell. OMD. Forgot it. We need karaoke. Can't do sing-alongs. And so, maybe that should be the theme song. Secrets. And if you don't know what OMD stands for, guys, oh my God. Orchestral maneuvers in the dark. This is what the church is doing. They want their kingdom back. This is the transfer from Lucifer to Jesus. This is the Danite plot in Thomas B. Marsh's affidavit. This is what I've been warning you for. Been giving you the real church history. Ex-foes, why aren't you listening? I am not the enemy. I am helping you. Going over the forged documents of Brigham Young. Telling you more plagiarisms from the Book of Mormon that you need to pay attention to. Why aren't you guys following me? Because you, being born and raised a tribalistic Mormon, but offended over something that the church claimed they lied about, left the church. And now you are becoming a tribalistic ex-foe Mormon. Exmo-Lex's video of her quitting, gonna be interviewed on Saints Unscripted. She says this. She wanted community with Mormonism. Mormonism didn't want her. And so when she left, she needed a new community. That's what church was for Exmo-Lex. Feeling like she belongs. Had nothing to do with worshiping a personal Jesus. Had nothing to do with ritual. Had nothing to do with knowing what the scriptures say. It was all about feeling and belonging. And I've gone over with you how Nelson has done away with that. The culture of Mormonism is destroyed and gone. There is no cultural Mormonism anymore. And yet the church then, under Nelson, claimed, we're the same culture as Muslims. You destroyed our culture. We're no longer like Muslims. We're more like the Islamic terrorism of the religion. And people just don't get it. The church makes these changes and then claims they didn't make the changes. That everything's still the same. They literally think you're stupid. And yes, when you get an angry teddy bear attacking me, because he doesn't know anything of Mormonism, he's just a tribal member, going with the flow, getting triggered. Yeah, this is a very dangerous thing. This is the hearts of men shall wax cold in the latter days. This is the Civil War and how it gets started. This is the World War and how it gets started. This is Coriantumr and Shiz. They're the last men alive, and they're still fighting to see who can be the last man alive. And nobody sees this. Nobody wants to get along. Can't we all just get along? At first, I admit, I was petrified, thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. The replacements with the 7-Up guy. So, people are fleeing to Canada. The borders are seeing a bunch of people claiming asylum because of what Trump is doing. And it's also at the same time that Handmaid's Tale last night began their final season on HBO. I told you I watched it. I struggled with it when I first saw the first episode, trying to get through, and when the guy raped his handmaid with the Christian church hymn in the background, I lost it. I couldn't watch any further. And so it took me a couple of years before last year finally getting to it. And oh my God, all these connections. And so, yeah, in the movie or the TV series, Americans are conquered by Christian extremists, and thus the handmaids. As the good Christian women are unable to breed. And so the kidnapped women become handmaids. The whores become handmaids. And are used for breeding, but have to keep silence in the home and are subjected into bondage and slavery and sexual abuse. And the Christian extremists think that this is so perfect. It's the perfect system. And obviously it's not, as the show goes on to expose. And so yes, there's lots of people fleeing into Canada. Canada ends up creating a rebel base movement that goes back into the States. But because of the evil of the leader of the extremists, Canadians are no longer sympathetic to the asylum seekers in Canada, and blame them for the financial troubles that eventually occur. And so, yeah, it was sad, tragic show. And so now, with the final season, now that Trump is back, yeah, here we come. And so, yeah, I struggled through that show to finally watch it. It crushed me. And here we go in America, and I am literally being crushed. I have warned you of these days, tried to get you to, and here we are anyway. And I watch people's lives get destroyed and ruined when I was here the whole time warning, it's coming, we can't let it happen. Warning my government, the church is in charge of all this, they're doing this, they're causing this, I've got the documents, I've got the financial receipts, I know the whole history, I know their plot and their playbook to destroy the Americas and the world governments. And here we are. Nobody listened to me. And here's the consequences of not listening to me. I am not supernatural Jesus. I'm just the man like Moses, the seer, the prophet, the revelator, the translator of Paleo, Hebrew, and Egyptian. So that everybody can know who I am. The Mormon employee knows who I am. He knows. He's been doing this the whole time. He has seen the various videos. He knows the content. That's why certain videos trigger him more than others. He stalks me. He causes cyber terrorism when I do a video that he's offended with, or that he's ordered to attack me for, because of the Strengthening Church Members Committee that have the hotline to him, who are ordered by the leaders of the church. They are under the direction of the leaders of the church to attack certain people. And I am their number one target, because the prophets know about Section 107, verses 91 and 92. And they don't have it. I do. They know it. I sued the church in 2020. Remember? The Exodus in 2020. What happened in the Exodus? Moses sues in Pharaoh's court. You are looking for a Mormon who will sue in Utah against the church. The church forced me to do it if I was going to save my life. I had no other choice. The end of 2017, when I started my ministry, the church knew and attacked. They took away my wife. They kicked me out of the church. Not excommunicated. How do you excommunicate a Mormon and explain that to the rest of the public? That, yeah, we excommunicated him because he said that Adam fell that man might be is true. Second Nephi chapter 9. How do they explain that? In the MTC, the mission president said, read that whole chapter every single day. Okay. It's very long, but okay. I obeyed. Adam fell that man might be. Is it not true? Was our mission president lying to us? They tell us to do stuff, and then they punish us for doing it. That is a common feature in this church. Let's see. So, cause and effect. I've been going over this. This is why I do church news videos. This is why I go over Trump Ice 2025 videos now. Going over with the news, both locally, nationally, and worldwide, is because all of this has to do with the prophecies of the latter days. This is not fluff pieces. You know, I'm trying to make it entertaining for you with sing-alongs. But this is important, guys. If your lives are still not affected yet, what the hell? My life's affected. I'm just like you guys. When Trump destroys the economy, I too suffer with you. That allows me to succor you during this time period. You know, supernatural Jesus, he's not affected. He's immortal. He has no clue how to succor you. He doesn't even bother to show up for his second coming. I am surprised because the YouTube Mormon employee shut down those videos about Jesus Christ is coming for a conference to speak. Nobody came to any of those videos. And so nobody, therefore, as an angry teddy bear, said, "This didn't happen, Travis. Jesus didn't show." You dumbass. But in the news last week, Utah passed a law saying no fluoride in the water anymore. Then JFK Jr. came to Utah and says, oh wow, this fluoride law that you passed, that sounds like a good idea. And so sure enough, yesterday in the news, hey, I think we should do a national ban on fluoride in the water. The national news isn't catching on that it had to do with Utah. There were some who covered the news that Utah is the first state to ban fluoride in the water. But it's because of going to Utah that now is going to be a national ban. Know that it is Utah that is doing that. But you also need to understand, this is somewhat insignificant. When I was a child, fluoride was big in the news in Southern California because that's when they were putting it in the water, way back then. And so as my grandpa had me in his chair that he invented and was working on my teeth, knowing that he can't talk with me because my mouth is full of and it's a running joke on shows and stuff. But all of a sudden he broke out talking about the whole fluoride controversy back then. And I knew nothing of it. I didn't know to care. But nonetheless, my grandpa was saying there's no big deal about fluoride. It doesn't need to be in our water. It doesn't make things better for us. There is nothing to do with fluoride and our health. But it was being pushed. And it became a national thing, I guess. But my grandpa, as the best dentist ever, as I have come to learn with other dentists that have come along since then, that I need to kind of listen to the expert in the field, not other people who are not experts or who are trashing the experts to destroy the credibility of the experts. And so that's what JFK Jr. is doing, or RFK Jr., whatever title he has, is that everything in the government is being destroyed. Science is being destroyed. Research is being destroyed. Health protections are destroyed, gone. Funding for health, destroyed, gone. This is what people need to understand. That the federal government is being destroyed. Because that's the prophecies. The enemy is here. The enemy is causing this. And it is sad that the enemy was able to sucker people in to believe in them. There were people who, for some stupid reason, before Trump did his tariffs, supported the tariff idea. I think tariffs would be a great idea. Trump has something here. Let's do it. And here he did it. And they're going, this is not working out the way I thought it would. Well, duh. And I have no sympathy or empathy for people who didn't bother to test the word first to know whether it would be good or bad. It's in the scriptures. By their fruits ye shall know them, for false prophets. It applies to anybody's word. In the first term, there were people who were literally counting the number of lies from Trump's mouth, breaking the world presidential record. And yet you're still thinking you can believe him this second term? I have no sympathy or empathy for people who find out the hard way that they are a sucker and a loser. That they don't understand that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are the causation of all this. Ordering Trump to do it, putting him in, not letting him get locked up in prison for the rest of his life, having him destroy the United States Constitution so that he could run for president again, destroying Roe v. Wade, destroying equal rights. 14th Amendment, guys. Don't you even read your Constitution? Or are you just a tribalist in the political realm? And so, what I found interesting is that the church on YouTube had a channel for conference. You could view it on conference, and then they put out the segmented videos of everybody's talk. And yesterday, I went to check to see if there's any more after the Nelson video. That was the last one that I had seen posted. And they're gone. All of them are gone. There was the choir singing, and there was the full videos, but all of the segmented talks gone. They're no longer in the files on the YouTube channel for Mormon, for the church, for conference. Gone. What the hell? And so I checked the church's side, but yeah, sure enough, still only the full shows, the full conferences, not the individual segments. Not yet, anyway. Eventually, I would expect that the individual segments will be put up, but this is very telling. Why is the church ashamed and pulling it down? You're welcome. You're welcome. Because I've warned you about this ever since Nelson took over and said that he's working with Russia to destroy America. In a major city yet to be determined in Russia, the whole audience cheered. I went, oh crap. And then Fox 13 News' Utah's Max Roth comes out the very next month. We found out that Orrin Hatch passed the bill at the end of last year to allow the church LLC companies to not report where they're getting money from. And they got $32 billion that they then went and laundered in the stock market. Uh-huh. Yep. Where is that temple, by the way? These kinds of things I catch on to. Maybe it's because I'm a bad Mormon watching R-rated movies. Or having grown up among white supremacist Christian nationalist peers. But I mean, dear God, how blatantly obvious. And then over the course of years, those who have been following for years have seen it. How when I talk about a subject, it ties into what the church is doing, I am able to warn you and expose this church. Going over church history and then tying it in to what they're doing right now. The church literally has been trying to get rid of Mormons. They are purging the sheep from the goats, as they believe. They're just getting rid of the sheep, keeping the goats, calling them sheep on purpose. I warned you. They want tribal Mormons right now because they're going to burn you. They're using you as a sacrificial lambs, turning you evil, causing you to be evil, so that when you are sacrificed, the church can then claim to be the victims, and then get the insurance money, and then get their kingdom back. That's why they keep buying up more land in Utah and around the world. A person who warns you is not your enemy. He's the one you need to pay attention to. But I know, it sucks. It means you're wicked.